since I was young, I always been like more of a positive, like, goofy,
Yeah.
happy person, laughing and things like that.
Truly.
And just going through, some things in life, losing people, and dealing with mental health issues like anxiety, things like that, battling depression. I feel like it kind of took away from me, like who I was, like my identity, and I kind of had to find that again. And I feel like when I was kind of in that state, I was more negative, and like misery loves company. So it's like
Truly.
when you're thinking negative, and it kind of attracts that stuff,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
that's kind of, I don't know, the stuff you're focused on. But it's like I've been just working on pulling myself out of that, because it's like it's always going to be something negative, or something to be down about. So it's like if you're just going to focus on that and let that bring you down, you know what I
That
mean?
grows.
Like you know what I mean? It's pointless. It's gonna always end bad for you. Like it's not gonna, you're not gonna be on the right path for yourself, and you're gonna lose motivation to do stuff. Lost my appetite, like things like that. But there's a lot of good things, to live for, and that anything you want to accomplish, you can get there. Like, and it's a lot of stuff that we go through in life where we feel like we might not have the confidence to do certain things, but you got to try, because the time is going to pass one way or another.
Truly.
So it's like it's better to, it's something always to be down about. So why not just pick to be positive and look at the good things going on, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I've been working on, and just trying to promote that, and like use my music and platform to spread positivity to others, because I feel like that's the best feeling.
And you feel it in the music.
Yeah,
You feel it.
thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best feeling, or the best thing you can do for somebody, is put a smile on their face. So
That's a blessing.
yeah.
That's like a superpower to even know that, or even do that and live that, because you do. So thank you. Very well said. Thank you for that. For real. I like that you said if things are negative and you focus on that, then it's growing, because that's true. Like, it's all about perspective. Everything is a choice, and as long as you have breath, you have options. So if we choose to focus, that's the one. If you choose to focus on the negatives, then you're only attracting those negative experiences. If you choose, just so we started with gratitude, just focusing on the good, then God blesses us with so much more. And just anything is like a domino effect.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
It's all, or even just like a boomerang. What you put out comes right back to you. So
For sure.
being mindful of that. I'm glad you touched on that. Just going with the flow, man.
Definitely.
And speaking of that, just like flowing, truly,
Exactly.
how have you like cultivated that, or realized that life is just about flowing and going with the flow, rather than going in anything with expectations? Just like, flowing.
I think like just dealing with experiences, trying to force things too much, or just trying to put too much emphasis on certain things, like and music has really helped me with that in a ways that I'd never expected it to, because like going on top of that, like people are going, it's really showed me that people are going to support you, or tap in with whatever you're doing, you know what I mean, like on their own time type of thing. But
That's true.
But it showed me that they're going to do it, whether I'm putting it in their face or not. Like, you know what I mean? It's been a lot of times when it would just be a random day and somebody posted my song or something and tagged me. And, and that gives me the best feeling. But it's like, and it'll be a day like I didn't promote or post any of my music. And, that just showed me, like, people are going to,
the support's
I don't know
there.
how to really say it. No,
The
like
support is there.
definitely.
Yeah.
And like, they're going to, and you don't have to,
Continue
force
to
it, or
force.
exactly,
That's
and
true.
things like that, and just and like you said,
That's
just
real.
let things flow, and just be the best you that you can be, because the other stuff is going to come. So you know what I mean? I feel like as long as if you have a goal in mind and you're working towards how to reach that in the best way for yourself, you know what I mean, the accolades, attention, whatever whatever else you like is going to come as well.
That's true.
If you perfect the craft or whatever you're working on, whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, I like that you said, what did you say? You said, it's like it was just in my brain and then
It's okay.
flew away.
It happens.
But literally, that's flowing. Even just like Okay, that's what it was. The creative process, like even any creative has probably experienced this. Promoting your work, promoting your art, even just like posting a song. You want to get that out there. You want the world to know about it, but it's like at a certain point, even me, like with the juicing or Appealinghealing or even just like braiding, you know, you want the support.
Definitely.
You want more people to follow you. You want your platform to build. But I had to get to a point where I was like, okay, make time for stillness too. Make time for just like getting off of social media and working towards your craft, because you can spend all your time trying to promote, but you're not spending enough time creating, or even just like not spending enough time checking in with yourself first. Like, all right, it's gonna, you know, just in the passenger seat instead of trying to drive the wheel and figure it all out, just flowing, and it'll grow in its own time. And you're doing amazing, for real.
Thank you.
I think I played Stupid Rich yesterday. That's the theme song, so that's the one, man. And all of your songs, like, you feel the intention that you put into it, for real.
You.
So
I really
that's
appreciate
amazing.
that, 'cause that's what I'm going for, definitely.
That's
so
amazing.
That means a lot to you.
You feel it, so continue to do that, man. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so my favorite quote is not the favorite quote, but something that I feel like we talked about this on Twitter, but it was attachment is the root of all suffering. And then we were talking about, I always see you like retweeting or something, doing things with no expectations, just in life. Like, what is that? Like, is that an agreement you've created with yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I would say, well, with the quarantine especially, like, just not going out as much, I've just focused a lot of my time on just becoming like a better person, doing things with good intentions and things like that, and working on myself. And part of that was, in kind of along with music or just in general, like on social media, for instance, like just showing love to others, like with no expectations. Because like I'll see a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I see some people sometimes like complaining about the support they're getting and stuff like that, or people will say like they support people and they're not getting the same support in return. But I feel like, you know, I mean, I definitely feel that, for one, but you gotta, when you're supporting someone else, you gotta just do it
from a good place in your
just
heart,
genuinely,
not
you know what I mean, just being genuine with it.
From it.
And you know, just support them just cause, you know, not expect anything in return. And you know, I always feel like, you know, you're showing genuine love, it's going to come back in return in one way or another. So that's just something that's just an example, but I've tried to just use that in just all aspects of life and just do stuff with no expectations. And it really makes me feel better, honestly, at the end of the day, like when I'm just doing stuff just cause, or, you know, whatnot, just trying to do stuff with good intentions and working on that. You know, it just definitely feels better. And, you know, when I get love in return, you know, I just appreciate it as much as I can, because, you know what I mean, that's the other part about not having expectations. Like, when you get the love and stuff like that, it feels that much better, you know what I mean? And on the reverse side, you know, it's easier said than done, first off, but on the reverse side, it's like, you don't want to let, if you're not getting the support you want, to let that get you too down, you know what I mean?
Truly. It's like a parasite in the brain.
It's like both sides, you know, you don't want to let the support, you know, bring you too high or too low, but
or lack of it bringing you too low.
Yeah, and really just working on my confidence, really, at the same time doing all that, because, you know, that's key, and people can read that. You got to be confident in whatever you're doing, but I'm blessed, you know what I mean, just kind of being a naturally confident person. I think people can read that, but you know, everybody's not like that, and you know, I think I've gotten a good start in terms of support, like with music, but you know, that it doesn't happen, you know, the same way for everyone. So, you know what I mean? I definitely feel if you're not as confident, but, you know, as long as you're acknowledging where you need to grow and stuff like that, you're always on the right path, I feel like.
That's a word. Truly. That's amazing. And thank you for sharing that, for real. You're dropping gems. Yes, that's amazing. So, I feel like I have a good question. When did you know, or when was the moment that you realized, like, okay, this is what's in me. I want to keep doing this. I want to make music. I want to create art. I want to write. I want to do this. When did that, like, spark within you, that inner knowing where it's like, okay, I can see myself doing this, or any of that?
Okay, that's a great question. I would say really, I've only been doing like music, like seriously, like focusing on it for like just a little bit over a year now. But I would say really in like 2017, because I remember me and my boy Lige had got in the studio with Rick LaFleur. Check him out on all platforms.
Yes.
But my boy R-Dub, I don't know what we were doing. We just wanted to record some stuff, and we knew he had a studio and stuff like that. And so when I got in there, he had like the auto-tune on for us and stuff. We were just like, fucking around. And I got in the headphones and I heard myself and I was like, damn, this sounds good. You know what I mean? I felt like, and we made some cool songs, you know what I mean? And people liked them. So
yeah,
I didn't take it serious because, I was playing football and I didn't want to like cuss in my songs. And like, cause I always thought if I wanted to do music, I want to go all out, you know what I mean? Show my full personality.
Yeah.
And I felt like I couldn't do that with football. And I love football so, at the time I just didn't take it serious. But I would say that's when it originally sparked. And then basically, when I was about to try to make a comeback in football at Laney College, then COVID had struck. So then after that, it wasn't really nothing to do. And I don't know, I just got back in the studio with Rick, might as well make some music and got good feedback.
Okay.
And that really, that good feedback, that really helps my confidence and things like that.
You.
Right. So it's like I would say a mixture of things that really make me feel good, because I've always wanted to perform. And felt like that was some kind of natural and entertaining people, but when it's different when you really are like taking it seriously and dropping it and you get that feedback. It makes you know what I mean. It gives me it gives me that much more confidence.
That's amazing, and you will continue to the more that you continue to plant these seeds. How was that feeling when you made your first song? Like, what did that feel like within you?
The first song I made seriously was with I recorded at Rick's house.
Okay.
And it's called Find a Way.
Okay. Yes.
And I
played
had
that.
yeah, and I had like posted when I was about to drop it. I like posted a video of me dancing to it like in the studio, and it was getting good feedback. I mean nothing crazy, but good enough feedback because I didn't really know what to expect or really expect anything like that. So all the feedback felt good in my eyes, and I dropped it on like SoundCloud at first, and I got it on all platforms. But it was just it was a fun experience because. But I also say this, like that was one of the last times like I kind of made music and not kind of felt a little pressure on it, even though I shouldn't. But that was more so like whatever, like I'm just doing this just cause. And then some people heard that and they were like, "No, you should take this serious." So it's kind of I love the support and I appreciate it, and it kind of just puts a little bit of pressure on me. You know what I mean? Like and I'm working on that, but now it's kind of like people kind of expect something good, so it's it's different from just fucking around. But
as far as
I like it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I was gonna say that pressure. Where do you think that like stems from? The need to like not want to disappoint your listeners, or is that like a seed that you could possibly be planting in your brain because you do good regardless?
I think it could be a mixture of a few things. I think it definitely could be a seed.
Like everyone feels that too.
Yeah.
Just in anything.
For sure.
So, okay.
I would say just battling. I have an anxiety disorder, so just battling with that for like the past like 4 or 5 years. Really, anxiety is just like makes you feel like it's something you're not doing or something you're forgetting or or something you could do better. Kind of second guess things like that. And I guess that kind of goes into it, and it's kind of weird because I feel like I'm kind of used to being the underdog. So now it's kind of weird. I feel like people expecting something good from me, so it's kind of just a different sense of like pressure, you know what I mean? But in a good way. But